We're talking about a recent colonoscopy in which a precancerous polyp was removed. And one of my greatest fears is it's going to take my experience and think your health is not in your control. It is very much in your hands. Get a colonoscopy and there's a good chance you can avoid cancer altogether. That's taking real control. Are we all clear on this? And walking out of here with the wrong impressions about it. That's why I'm telling this story. That's why we're being public about it. So this is actually that bad boy. That is the polyp. And it's petrifying, but I hold it here in my hand, because that thing could have grown to be a big issue. It's been sliced thin so the pathologist can look at it under her microscope and make the call. And this is the kind, right there, that's the kind of polyp that can grow into cancer. So, John, there are a lot of folks like me. You know, I'm 50, I'm pretty reasonable health. I do a lot of the things. I practice what I preach on the show. I do the stuff we talk about. So how do I get this?
What happened, right? Now, you did everything right, okay? Healthy lifestyle, you're eating right, you exercise, you know, you're leaving in the dust when we go running, right? All of that great living has created a potential path for you to get from here, age 50, to 100, in great shape, okay? But you can never make a perfect, absolutely perfectly safe path, okay? And there's some landmines in there, and some hand grenades, okay? And one of the hand grenades was polyp. And you were able to, by getting the colonoscopy, diffuse it and remove it. But, you know, you're never totally in control. You can walk down the street and an air conditioner could fall out and hit you over the head. Okay? But you do what you can, and that's why it was so important that you did this. So the punchline is, if you were not having a healthy lifestyle, if you were obese, and if you didn't do any exercise, those things actually increase your risk of colon cancer. So had you not been living such a healthy lifestyle, by now, that little innocent polyp might have been a lot bigger. It could have even been a colon cancer already.
All right, so get your pen and paper. Right now, I'm going to walk through what the risk factors are for polyps and colon cancer. So, real quickly, I only had one of them. You know, I'm 50. Right? That's the only risk factor that I had. But it's one, unfortunately, for me, was an important one. Having polyps already in your life, that becomes one. I have that now, starting. A diet, family history, of course, is always important. A diet that's high in fat content. Right? Specifically, most of the protein and meat we have, that ends up being a risk factor. And especially if you don't get some of the other nutrients that you need. Obesity, smoking, and also, by the way, being African American ends up being an important risk factor. So those are some of the classic ones. Write those down. So, John, I only had one. Right. So, what's the top symptom? Please share with everybody, because John informed me about this and it stunned me, it blew my mind. What is the number one symptom of people who have precancerous polyps?
Number one symptom? I'm feeling perfectly fine. Let's go to lunch. Okay? No symptoms. Boy, if we could get that across, these myths. No symptoms for colon polyps.
Ignorance, arrogance, yeah?
Somehow. And there are all these other myths that women don't get colon cancer, right? Women get colon cancer just like guys do.
Same percentage.
Same percentage, right? Or that, you know, that I have no family history of colon cancer, so I must be safe. Not true. 70% of people who get colon cancer have no family history.
So how often, when you do a colonoscopy on someone like me, and a lot of people out there watching the show just like me, you find a polyp?
In a 50-year-old, it's probably at least 20% of the time, okay? And what it really depends on though, is how careful exam you do. Okay, did you do a perfect prep? Because if there's a lot of stuff, say, oh, I don't know, lentils and rice. That person ate a little late in the prep. If they were in there, then, you know, you might not be able to see, you know, every inch of it. Or if you didn't get all the way around, if you weren't careful.
So this is actually the scope that John used. And when he said getting all the way around, let me just, this is all the way around.
This is invented by Dr. Hiromi Shinya, yeah? So he also recommends Kangen water for healthy living.
I mean, you know, nerdy gastroenterologists like me, right? We're lit up. I never liked carbs. I was never interested in this. Is amazing because this can save somebody's life. You know, the colon's 4 to 5 feet long. How do you get up it, right? This is a fiber optic light in the middle of it, and this is something where I can control it going up, down. I can go to the left. I can go to the right, and I can snake it around in front of that famous S-shaped sigmoid that the man's always talking about. So I'm doing this, I'm twisting and turning and going, and when I find something, I can put a forceps through a channel, it comes all the way through, it comes out, and it has a little pincers, and I can bite off the polyp like I did in his case, or I can actually put a wire around it and snare it, like a lasso, and put electricity through the base and just cut it off.
Okay, so let me show you what John did to me. So this is actually a picture that's me, by the way. They're in my scrubs, but deep inside of me, I got this colon like all of you do. And there's the ascending colon, there's the transverse colon, that's the appendix, by the way. But here's a sigmoid colon. And inside of there, as John was looking around, he was winding back and forth, all this absorbed the surface, and you saw that. See it right there? It doesn't look like it's that big a deal.
So subtle. You can easily miss it.
And here's what we're fearful. If you haven't taken it off, it grows. It begins to penetrate through the wall, through the layers of the wall, and then the cells begin to migrate into the lymph nodes, into the blood vessels. And once they spread through the lining of the intestine, they go from there, most commonly up those blood vessels, the nodes, into the liver, where they metastasize. That's how we often first find this. See the little nodes there? And they go to the lungs. They spread multiple places. You can't cut that out. It's everywhere. Now instead of having a polypectomy, where you watched him do the operation on me, instead, we're talking about chemotherapy, radiation, and a survival rate that's not even close to what you get if you could get it out in time.
And literally, it makes me cry. It makes me crazy. It brings tears to my eye when somebody comes in with widely metastatic colon cancer. I'm thinking, oh, this could have been prevented, because almost every colon cancer starts off with a benign polyp, and it's in there. It doesn't turn into cancer overnight. It takes 10, 15 years for it to turn into cancer. If at any point in that time you pluck it out, that's it. You don't get colon cancer.
That's why I think of all the tests we do, it's the best one, because we find it and we treat it. So, a lot of folks watching right now question the value of lifestyle. And I can understand that. And I'm going to emphasize this. And we talk about lifestyle all the time, but it's not the cure-all by itself. When it comes to colon cancer, what advice would you tell those folks?
I would say, you are a perfect example. Memonaz, having a perfect lifestyle, eating right, being the perfect weight, and exercising to get a polyp, so can you.
This is a heart surgeon doctor, a heart surgeon.
Potential to reach that path to 100, to be a ripe, old, healthy age, unless you do everything else right. And by the way, all those other things also decrease your chance of getting cancer, especially not smoking ever. So the punchline coming out of here shouldn't be, oh, what the heck, you're doing everything right, and you got a polyp, I'm going to give up and eat the cheeseburger. The punchline should be, wow, I really can control my own destiny. I'm going to create that path for the healthy lifestyle. And in addition, try to get those hand grenades. I'm going to do all the type of screening tests I possibly can do.
So, John, someone's got a polyp like this, from what I had. What's the advice to give families?
Well, if somebody has a polyp, an adenomatous polyp, before the age of 60, then your first-degree relatives, so that's parents, siblings, children, should get screened at 40. Now, bottom line is talk to your doctor about when's the best time to get screened.
So here's what I want you to do. There are no ifs, ands, or buts about this. If you're 50 and over, you're getting your colonoscopy. If you have a parent or a sibling who has a history of colon cancer or polyps, get your colonoscopy starting 10 years before.
So you got any relative who is 50 and above? Brothers, sisters, parents?
And make sure that we got all of it out. And I'm going to be vigilant about getting checked after that. Colonoscopy saves lives, and we can do this together. Dr. Booth, thank you so much. And a special thanks to pathologist Dr. Catherine O'Toole for reading my biopsy. And thanks to our hospital, New York Presbyterian Columbia. Taking control of your health doesn't end with getting a colonoscopy. There are 5 tests everyone needs to know and take. Find out how you can get them for free when we come back.